Hey guys, I'm ExxotikGaming. Hope you're all doing well. I can't believe I'm making this video so soon after my last video where I basically said how Apex Legends Mobile is finally being shut down. But yes, another big EA title is being shut down. Now, I wouldn't really say shut down because this game isn't even fully out yet, but they're basically canceling all development of this game because they see it's just not going to be a profitable game, I guess. Battlefield Mobile. I've had a lot to say about Battlefield Mobile over the past year or so, and I've not been very impressed with this game, to be honest. It seems like development was being very slow. They weren't really making this game look up to par with a lot of the other games that are coming out in 2022, 2023, and beyond. And it seems like they finally realized that this is just not going to work out. And yeah, there's actually a post that I'm going to show you guys real quick right here. It says, "We've made the strategic decision to stop development on Apex Legends Mobile and Battlefield Mobile." And they basically talk about Apex for a paragraph or so, but then they say, "We've also made the decision to stop the development of the current Battlefield Mobile title. As the industry has evolved and our strategy to create a deeply connected Battlefield ecosystem has taken shape, we decided to pivot from the current direction to best deliver on our vision for the franchise and to meet the expectations of our players. We remain highly committed to unlocking Battlefield's enormous potential. We're hard at work at evolving Battlefield 2042 and are in pre-production of our future Battlefield experiences at studios across the globe." So they're basically saying that they wanted to make a mobile Battlefield game that really fit players' expectations. And if you take a look at some of the earlier versions of Battlefield Mobile's alpha tests and beta tests, you know that that is not the case at all. I did a video about 6 months ago talking about how Battlefield Mobile could compete against even Warzone Mobile if they did a bunch of different things. And I actually will link that video down below in the description because it's a great video. I might even explain all of this stuff better than what I'm going to do in this video. But basically, my biggest complaint with Battlefield Mobile is the game never really had that Battlefield feel. If you ever watched YouTube videos of people playing games like Battlefield Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, even Battlefield 1 and 5, right? After Battlefield 5, it gets a little bit iffy, but I would still even say Battlefield 2042. They have this characteristic look and feel where it's these big, wide-scale maps where you can basically travel for 15 minutes across the map if you really wanted to. There's vehicles, there are RPGs, there's different points that you have to capture, and the entire map has destruction, and everything is just complete pure chaos, right? You take a look at even Battlefield 2042. There are maps where you have tornadoes that are destroying the map as you're playing in it, right? And if you get too close, you can get sucked into the tornado. That's cool. That's a Battlefield experience right there, right? Then you take a look at Battlefield 1. It's set in World War I, right? You have all the trenches and they just go on for miles. No Man's Land looks like this complete desolate thing, but then you have all of these planes that are flying over and bombing you, and it's just a really freaking cool game, right? Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 were probably the closest games that I think Battlefield Mobile was trying to emulate. They're these modern day shooters, right? And all of these games just were pure chaos as well. You could get vehicles, you could get helicopters, there were ships, there was ocean battles, you know? You could actually fight people in the ocean if you wanted to, off the coast. There's just so much stuff that Battlefield had, and I always thought of it as one of the coolest segments in the gaming market. I always thought Battlefield was honestly cooler than Call of Duty, but seems like nowadays that's not necessarily the case anymore. Call of Duty is doing a really good job, and the development team that's working on Battlefield Mobile, or was working on Battlefield Mobile, was really making a game that looked completely different from that whole Battlefield experience. You can probably still download the game and play it because I don't know if they've entirely shut down servers yet. You can let me know down below in the comments if they did or not. But for Android users at least, I'll put it down below in the description. You can download it and try it out, at least for the little bit that you can before they shut down the servers. Or honestly, they might have entirely shut down the servers just because there's not a beta test going on. I don't know. I might not have a download link in the description. As you can tell, it's kind of new information, and I still have to gather everything. But there might not even be a test anymore, and that might be it. that's it. You might not even be able to play the game anymore. But if you look at some of my past videos for Battlefield Mobile, you'll see that the game just looked like a game from 2013, you know? Take a look at Modern Combat 4 gameplay and then Battlefield Mobile gameplay, and they don't really look that different. How are you going to make a game that looks comparable to a game that came out in 2012 and have it compete against games that are coming out in 2023? You put Battlefield Mobile side by side with Rainbow Six Siege Mobile and Valorant Mobile and Warzone Mobile, and there is no comparison at all. And I wouldn't really be that worried about that if, you know, it was maybe 2 or 3 months since they first announced this game. But it's been like over a year since the first tests came out, and the game didn't really look any different in November of this past year than it did in November of 2021. It looked a tiny bit better, but the game still looked like a game from 2013. And I seriously think the final global release was not going to look that different than the version that we played most recently. So I think they finally realized that if you compare their two games side by side, Apex Legends Mobile and Battlefield Mobile, and you look at what the game looks like, plays like, feels like, Apex Legends Mobile at least played really well. It had amazing graphics, one of the best looking mobile games I've ever seen, right? And it just seemed like a much more next-gen type of game than Battlefield Mobile. So if EA realized that even Apex Legends Mobile was not going to do well and people were not even playing that game, how the heck were they going to play Battlefield Mobile, you know? Battlefield Mobile would have had to be a game that they were developing for the, like, lowest of low devices, and Battlefield Mobile needed to, like, compete against Free Fire or something like that. Like, you could not make Battlefield Mobile compare against Warzone Mobile and Valorant Mobile because people were going to play those other games instead of Battlefield. It's just obvious, right? And I don't know, man. It's just a pretty depressing thing to hear about. I think Battlefield Mobile could have done very, very well. I think there's still room for Battlefield Mobile to be a hugely successful game, and I really hope the team that worked on Battlefield Mobile maybe in a year from now completely revisits this entire thing, because, hey, if you're watching this video and you worked on Battlefield Mobile, this could be one of the biggest mobile games ever. Seriously, I'm not even lying. I love the Battlefield series. I think it's so freaking cool, and I think the vast majority of people that are watching this video would love to be able to play in a game that looks like Battlefield 4, but for your mobile device, okay? Just replicate that. You can even call it Battlefield 4 Mobile, okay? You don't have to make an entirely new mobile game, because that's going to bring so much excitement and people to it. You could change it. Honestly, you probably should change the name. Don't call it Battlefield 4 Mobile, but if you wanted to, like, jumpstart the player base, because I think every PC player that played those games back in the day would want to download this, dude, that would be so much more successful than trying to make your own game that has bits of different Battlefield games put into it. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's an interesting thing to think about, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. In maybe a year or so, you're going to have a new Battlefield Mobile title being developed. But what I really think would be the best thing to do is to co-develop a game for PC, console, and mobile at the same time. I think a lot of game development companies are sort of going this route, and within a few years, you're going to start to see a lot of crossplay between all of the different devices. Whether you like that or not, I don't know, but it seems like Fortnite Mobile was kind of the pioneer with this, where you could play mobile players against PC players against console players. They all work together in the same servers, and it would let you know if you're going up against a mobile player or a PC player. But I think over time, the next few years is going to have a lot more games that have crossplay, and Battlefield Mobile might eventually have something like that as well. Maybe a future Battlefield title if they actually get their act together and they have better games than Battlefield 2042. I don't know. Battlefield 2042 is actually doing a little bit better from what I've heard from people. It seems like it had a very rickety start, and then it's finally starting to actually add more content that people are enjoying, and it seems like from the YouTubers that I watch for Battlefield Mobile, it seems like the game is finally doing a little bit better. And I don't know. I feel like Battlefield Mobile could have actually done the same thing. Maybe they released it in a pretty iffy state, and then people gave all of their feedback. They decided to add more and more content, and then maybe a year later, it would have done a lot better. It's kind of shocking to me that they just entirely stopped the development altogether, because it seems like EA is just entirely pulling out of the mobile market altogether. They're obviously not, but with both Apex and Battlefield both being shut down at the same time, I think they finally realized that the mobile gaming segment is a bit more difficult than you might have thought. And only companies like NetEase and Tencent are able to just release these games super easily and quickly and just have them successful all the time. You don't have an entire team in China working on your game, so yeah, you're going to have to do some different changes when you release your game if you want it to be successful. But I don't know, I feel like I rambled throughout this video and I didn't really talk about too much stuff relating Battlefield, but I just wanted to give my thoughts and opinions. There wasn't too much information about this. They just pretty much had one paragraph that said that they're stopping development of Battlefield Mobile, and I guess if you wanted to know a little bit more information about all of the things that I wanted for Battlefield Mobile, you can check out the video that I'll link down below in the description. It is a good video, and it talks about all of the things that I think would have made Battlefield Mobile successful. A lot of people agreed with what I had to say, and I do think if they ever make a future Battlefield Mobile game, they should watch that video, they should see what I have to say, and then they should read the comments to see what other people want, and that could be a good, like, guideline to follow when they're developing their future game. But, hey, that's it. It's a bit of a short video, but I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy Battlefield Mobile while it lasted, and subscribe down below for more videos like this. Check out my video on Apex Legends Mobile that I did just a little bit ago. You might want to watch that because there's a lot more information surrounding that game being shut down as well. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next episode.